Liver transplants are now a routine life-saving procedure, but pioneering surgeons were once slammed as reckless cowboys. Tonight in Flashback, 40 years since Australia's first transplant was performed in Brisbane.
The people in Brisbane who are gearing up to do the first baby liver transplant in Australia are looking at Melbourne for the origin of the liver, and they're going to use the Premier's multi-million-dollar jet to get it. Now, this is glamorous nonsense.
The idea of a liver transplant in the early 80s was seen as reckless, experimental.
What the heck do you think you're doing? It was very controversial. And a lot of opposition to it.
Regardless, on the 30th of January 1985, an organ was sourced from a car crash victim and Australia's first liver transplant was performed at the PA.
The patient, 40-year-old Michael Connors, is now conscious after the 17-hour operation.
And the actual procedure is to remove the liver and all its attachments and to put the new liver in. Now that entails doing a considerable number of join-ups afterwards.
That's lead surgeon Russell Strong, and 4 decades later, he's a world-renowned pioneer in the field.
With liver transplants, you only do it because the person's going to die if they don't have it. It's not an alternative treatment. It is the only thing that they have.
Just weeks later, Australia's first liver transplant on a child, 2-year-old Rhonda Natera.
The 2-year-old's come through the critical period for liver rejection, and now there's only a slim chance she may reject the organ. Doctors are still slightly overawed at the sophisticated transplant operation.
When you see a liver sitting out on a table in a box of ice and then an hour later it's in and it's working, it's just amazing.
Today, Rhonda is a mother of 3 living in Springfield.
For me, if I hadn't had that transplant, I wouldn't be here today.
She received what's now known as the Brisbane technique, where surgeons cut away part of a larger adult liver and put it in the child. That, and another transplant a decade ago, proves the value of the organ donor program.
I'm not going to take for granted what I've been given. I'm kind of forever in debt to my donor family.
40 years later, what was once radical is now best practice.
We're up to now 1,700 people in Queensland have had a liver transplant. We do about 60 liver transplants a year, and people have amazing outcomes.
Yes, I do.
Phenomenal. Weather now, Michelle. It's been a hot weekend.